This is dictation at 60 words a minute. Will you arrive early tomorrow to testify? His testimony should clear the defendant. The witness is telling the truth. Have you been witnessing the changes? Mr. Porter witnessed the accident. As he identifies items, she checks the list. The witness identified the body. Do you think the style is identifiable? We need new landscaping, etc. Tell me about the latest trip, etc. When did you buy your new automobile? The railroad car came loose. How much damage was done to the automobile in the accident? He sued for damages. The preacher was well educated. John presided at the premiere. The Scottish kilt was red plaid. Plug in the lamp by the coffee table. We had a problem with our rate sheets. They could not cover all the possible jobs. We were told that wages to offer for each of the kinds of jobs that we had listed were inclusive. Our real problem was in regard to the ship, but they were not consistent with other rates. It was all a big mess. Have you heard all the evidence? We need to present more evidence for the conviction. Do you think it was evident he would win? The photograph was old and blurred. Please hand me the next photograph. Alan works at the photographic studio. I took a commercial class in photography. Are you going out of the country? The fad has spread all over the country. The trip encompassed many countries. Were you in that bar at any time? Did you at any time respond to the call. We were best friends at that time. Were you there at the time of the arrest? From time to time, the matter was raised. Are you feeling well at the present time? We saw him at dinner at this time. The term insurance does not have an actual cash value. Will you insure my car? Did you actually have more income last year? The family needs both incomes. Susan was a shrewd card player. I worked on a shrimp boat last summer. There were Shriners in the parade. The ghoul wore a black shroud. The whistle was short and shrill. I was assigned to the accident in question on March 17. When I got to the place where it had happened, I noticed skid marks. We measured them at the time, but I don't recall their length or anything. They appeared to be very fresh. They were over toward the right-hand side of the street. It is my opinion that these gouge marks were caused by areas where the vehicle struck the surface of the roadway and then hit the curb. The top of the vehicle was totally demolished. The final impact, I believe, was in the area of about 100 feet from the base of the cliff, and then the vehicle struck and flipped over from there. So it was approximately 100 or 120 feet. In my opinion, the excessive speed was the primary cause of this accident and the resulting damages. For example, don't go into the deep water. For instance, do you want to read a book? I have 5 good people in addition to her. Act in accordance with the rules. He was a drug dealer, in other words. You must fill it out in order to enroll. The witness was not very talkative. They took a trip down the Amazon. I think the dosage is 2 milligrams. Who do you think is the benefactor? The ground is saturated from the rain. Don't be such a pessimist all the time. You really need to find a better attitude. The doctor said it was a congenital defect. What color is your new house? Her fair coloring causes her to burn. Does that new car belong to you? I want to belong to an exclusive club. The Salton Sea is below sea level. She is on time oftener than not. He exercised better self-control. I have trouble understanding him. What is the controlling statute? We know that he controlled the company. What was the result of the test? She felt as if she were under a cloud. He was reluctant to take the stand. Exclude him from the conversation. The shape of the object was cylindrical. He became a vegetarian 3 years ago. The problem was in the occipital area. After the accident, Jim was not coherent. Are you the designated driver tonight? The sale item caught her attention. The store closed for inventory. Will you take the inventory? The subsidy was substantial. The kidnapper made many demands. Put your emphasis on accuracy. She wrote the entire sentence correctly. They were acting in an irrational manner. They found the list in numerical order. The conversation was repeated at lunch. The item made a conversational opening. The pedestrian has the right-of-way. A pedestrian should walk defensively. There weren't any crosswalks there. That intersection needs sidewalks. Passengers should not disturb the driver. We took 3 passengers in a car. Where did you park your vehicle? The road is closed to vehicular traffic. The water swirled down the storm drain. I visited the tree farm. I installed a new hard drive. That mountain was a steep climb. Can you ring an answer out of him? Those packages need to be wrapped immediately. He hung a wreath of pine cones on the door. The whorehouse was closed by the authorities. Buy some wrapping paper today. Why did you buy that old wreck? Hang another wreath on the door. Did you watch the wrestling match? Are they members in good standing? Above all, tell the truth in court. We have required membership for years. What are the requirements for membership? Her name is above mine on the placard. You are required to be 21 to be a member. The requirements are too stiff. I didn't pass the sobriety test, but I didn't try too hard to pass it because I thought that by acting like I was drunker than I was, it would make me not responsible for what had happened. I was talking with Officer Rose, and I told him I wanted to cooperate because I was really sorry for what happened. He didn't do anything to calm me down, but he wasn't brutal to me or anything. He handcuffed me and put me in the front seat, which isn't normal. He just talked with me on a man-to-man level. Then, when I got to the jail, they took away all of my personal things. They took my cell phone and my wallet and everything. They made me sign a paper that listed them.